Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello Africa is your live breakfast show delivering informative, entertaining, and energizing start to your day.
Our expert reviews break down the headlines and help you make sense of today's news.
We bring you nothing but the most interesting highlights on our top African stories.
Plus lifestyle features, inspiring interviews, and the best on the continent.
Every episode is packed with stories that inform, inspire, and celebrate the spirit of the continent.
Catch us live every Monday at 9 a.m.
And be part of the conversation on our social media platforms.
Hello Africa, bringing the continent to your morning.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Welcome to the Hello Africa Morning Show. My name is Jemai Madela Demdoche, and we're coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities. Now to the top African stories for today. The 2026 Economic Report on Africa is urging countries to shift from commodity-driven growth to innovation-led development. Experts say investing in technology, digital skills, and startups is critical to creating jobs and achieving sustainable economic growth across the continent. At the Africa Business Forum in Addis Ababa, experts have stressed the need to adopt technologies like AI, robotics, and clean energy to create jobs for the continent's growing youth population.
Africa's economic momentum has been steady, but experts say it has not yet produced the kind of transformation needed for lasting prosperity. They point to a model largely powered by labor growth, capital inflows, and commodity exports, now facing mounting pressure. At the Africa Business Forum in Addis Ababa, leaders emphasized the urgent shift toward innovation-driven growth to secure sustainable employment for Africa's fast-growing youth population. They noted that technologies such as AI, robotics, data analytics, and clean energy are already shaping economics globally, and Africa must not fall behind. Experts say several countries are taking steps in digital development, skills training, renewable energy, and industrial expansion. However, major constraints persist across the continent, particularly limited access to high-quality education and practical digital training. They recommend reforming education systems to strengthen science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, while governments should build data infrastructure, support startups, and adopt policies that encourage innovation. They also warned that without careful planning, automation could contribute to job displacement, inequality, and digital divides. With the African Continental Free Trade Area creating a platform for regional integration, Africa has an opportunity to scale innovation region-wide if action is taken quickly and decisively.
Moving on. Ghana is rolling out new measures to ease the impact of high fuel prices, with President John Dramani Mahama directing fuel tax reduction and lower transport costs. Following a cabinet meeting in Accra, Finance Minister Hazel Ato-Forson and Energy Minister John Jinapor were instructed to reduce fuel prices through a temporary 4-week intervention. The plan includes deploying 100 Metro Mass Transit buses to support commuters and banning fuel allowances to reduce government spending. Officials say the shock is linked to global supply disruptions tied to heightened tension involving Iran, Israel, and the United States, especially around the Strait of Hormuz.
President John Dramani Mahama has ordered immediate action to cushion Ghanaians as global oil price pressures begin to filter the cost of living. The directive followed a cabinet meeting in Accra where government officials agreed on urgent steps aimed at easing burdens on households and businesses. Finance Minister Hazel Ato-Forson and Energy Minister John Jinapor have been tasked with engaging stakeholders to bring down fuel prices in the next pricing window. The government also plans to temporarily suspend certain taxes and levies on petroleum products, with the relief package expected to run for 4 weeks. Officials say the increase is being driven by disruptions in global supply, particularly along the Strait of Hormuz, amid tensions involving Iran, Israel, and the United States. To reduce hardship for commuters, the administration will place 100 Metro Mass Transit buses on key routes, offering more affordable transport options. At the same time, ministers have been directed to comply with the ban on fuel allowances to help contain public spending. Government insists that the measures are meant to stabilize prices and protect the economy from external shocks.
Also, Confederation of African Football CAF President Patrice Motsepe says he supports and will cooperate with investigation into alleged corruption within the Confederation of African Football. His comment comes amid growing controversies surrounding decisions related to the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Senegal has demanded scrutiny after its title was controversially awarded to Morocco by CAF's appeal body, with the dispute now before the Court of Arbitration for Sport. Motsepe, speaking in Dakar, reiterated CAF's zero-tolerance position on corruption and said the organization will act promptly if wrongdoing is found. He also confirmed that CAF will fully respect the final ruling from the court.
CAF President Patrice Motsepe says he welcomes any investigation into corruption within the organization. His remarks follow mounting public concerns over decisions surrounding the 2025 African Cup of Nations final. Senegal has alleged unfair treatment after its title was stripped and the trophy awarded to Morocco by CAF's appeal board. That decision has been challenged, and the matter is now being handled by the Court of Arbitration for Sports. In Dakar, Motsepe stressed that CAF operates with zero tolerance for corruption and will cooperate fully with any probe. He also reaffirmed that CAF will respect and implement the court's final ruling. The controversy has intensified concerns about the transparency in African football, especially after the resignation of CAF's former Secretary General, Veron Musengu Omba.
The Ghanaian cedi traded at 11 to the US dollar on Friday, April 10th, according to the Bank of Ghana. The sterling rate stood at 11. In the same period, the British pound was quoted at 14.8 for buying and 14.82 for selling, while the euro recorded 12.8 buying and 12.9 selling. Bank of Ghana Governor Johnson Panditi-Siama said the cedi recent depreciation is consistent with normal market behavior, attributing short-term movement to speculative activities. He assured that ongoing reforms were expected to improve stability over time.
The Ghana cedi is trading at 11.0145 to the US dollar, based on the latest figures from the Bank of Ghana. The selling rate is 11.0255. For other major currencies, The British pound is quoted at 14.8079 for buying and 14.8238 for selling, while the euro is trading at 12.8977 on the buying side and 12.9105 on the selling side. Market updates continue to show some movement in foreign exchange rates. Governor Johnson Pandit Isiama described the cedi's depreciation as part of normal market conditions. Speaking at the 128th Monetary Policy Committee press conference in Accra, he explained that short-term pressures, including speculative activities, can influence currency performance. However, he said the bank remains focused on restoring stability and confidence in the local currency as policy reforms begin to take effect. While fluctuations may occur under a floating exchange rate environment, the overall outlook is aimed at strengthening steadiness in the system.
Pressure is mounting for Ghana to urgently release family planning supplies that have been stuck at the country's port since 2024. Ernest Austin Amoaben, chairman of the Global Fund Country Coordinating Mechanism Ghana, says the delayed shipments procured by the United Nations Population Fund and value at about $500,000 contains critical commodities for the Ministry of Health. These include contraceptives such as pills, implants, condoms, and other devices. While government has not yet provided a clear explanation for the prolonged clearance delays, President John Dramani Mahama has also directed the Ministry of Health and Finance to urgently address concerns over possible taxes and clearance issues affecting the supplies.
The chairman of the Global Fund Country Coordinating Mechanism in Ghana is calling for the immediate clearance of family planning commodities held at the nation's port since 2024. Ernest Austin Amoaben said the supplies were procured through the United Nations Population Fund and are worth about $500,000. He noted that the shipment includes contraceptive pills, implants, injectables, condoms, and intertwined devices intended for distribution by the Ministry of Health. Civil society organizations, such as the Ghana CSO's platform on the Sustainable Development Goals, say the delay is deepening shortages in health facilities across the country. They warn that continued lack of stock could place thousands of women at risk and roll back achievements in reproductive health and HIV prevention. Amoaben described the situation as unacceptable, saying repeated delays point to weakness in coordination within government systems. He also cautioned that the issue could damage confidence among development partners and widen funding gaps in the health sector. Meanwhile, President John Mahama has instructed the Ministers of Health and Finance to urgently address concerns, including possible taxes and clearance complications affecting supplies. For now, civil society groups are urging swift action to ensure the commodities are cleared and delivered without further delay.
That is all for the top African stories. My name is Jemima Adeladem Dochi. Up next is News Review. Stay tuned.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. the AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Hello and welcome back from that break, and you're still watching the Hello Africa Morning Show coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities in Accra, Ghana. Just gone by is the top African news, and Jemima did that. My name is Philemon Edwards. Welcome to the show. Jemima, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
So today you were African Prince without me.
You see,
the whole of March you did that. I think I complained every time I sat here with you. And I'm here with you today. Well, we are in April, but that doesn't matter.
You see,
but you are still
I'm laughing because I always promise that we'll have a conversation about it after the show. The conversation never happens, and then there's always another Monday, and we have to talk about it.
I have to get the producer has to give me an African Prince before.
Okay, I think that the producer has to remind me about this meeting. At this point, it's becoming I'm guilty. Exactly. Anyway. We are about to get into the news review for this morning, and this morning we are going to begin with news regarding universities in Africa. So a new study by the University of Johannesburg Nexus Lab has revealed that many university websites across Southern Africa are dysfunctional, outdated, or inaccessible, raising concerns about digital inequality in higher education. The audit, which examined 290 institutions across 10 countries, found that nearly 1 in 5 websites are non-functional, while many others had broken links, outdated content, and limited interactivity. The study highlights significant regional disparities, with countries like South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Botswana performing better. Now, while Mozambique, and Angola lag behind, researchers warn that poor digital presence could limit institutions' ability to attract students, secure partnerships, and participate in global academic networks, effectively deepening educational inequality in the region. This story, interestingly, I hate to say that it's so true.
Yes,
because
myself too.
This is probably about a year or two ago when I was randomly doing some things, and I was looking out for universities in Africa.
Yeah.
And I saw how, unfortunately, I'm sorry to use the word boring, the sites looked.
Yeah.
It was very not exciting the way you navigate many of these websites, and like the brief says, outdated content.
Yeah.
And there were some links that you even click on, the links go nowhere, the page keeps refreshing. Like, I just didn't believe that these are standard universities in Africa. Like, I was so disappointed. Funny enough, I've not had this conversation with anybody until now. This thing is coming up on this show. I don't know if you have had any experience of that nature.
Personally, I have.
Okay.
I think few months ago, I was trying to do a Google search.
Okay.
I think I was looking for some universities for, one thing or the other. And for this one, we are not mentioning any university, but I think universities themselves know how their websites are doing.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to see that in this day and age where technology, social media, the use of websites is on the rise, we have universities working, in function, but their websites, there is nothing there.
Non-functional.
For me, when I think there was one university, I don't want to mention it, but there was one university I visited that the main link to the website itself, the website itself is not loading for you to even see
So
the
you can't even have
information.
information.
Talk less of even looking at the courses and then
I get what
everything
mean.
you would want to know about the university. But it's shocking because we always preach of utilizing the digital tools that we have, utilizing computers, social media, and everything like that. Now I ask myself, if your website is like this, how much more social media? Because social media has gained that strength or that power that it has now. You understand? But before social media, people had websites. Universities had websites, and it's still shocking that even some universities do not even have a website. Talk less of getting the information. About what they do, courses they offer, and all that. And I think this is this poses a lot of threat to the university because you do not get students coming in. You do not get, people coming for exchange programs. We always talk about exchange programs and then, people leaving the side and coming here, Europe, Africa, and all that to learn. But here lies the case. I'm coming to your country. I want to research about the universities in your country, the courses that are done, what my interest is. And I go online and I don't even find anything. Pictures that are there are so outdated, like 2000s. We are still in the 2000s, but then like as old as, sometimes you go online and you're even trying to research on the vice chancellor on a particular university, and you realize that the picture that is online is so outdated, like very not clear,
not a current photo.
Not at all. Even if it's a current photo, I think universities now, we need to know better. That now we are so much engrossed in. You do not have to travel to places to know what is happening. You do not have to travel from here to any country to visit a particular university before you find out the courses you do or something like that. When you go online, you should be able to get all these information. It is a first point of contact to partners, and you are losing out on all these things. And it's very, very shocking if you talk.
I am surprised about this matter because in the age of digital tools, the website is one of the first things that we came across before even social media.
Exactly.
So if for all these years, higher education institutions in Africa don't have this basic one in check, then I'm afraid there's a lot
we need to do.
Problems. I saw one school's website where the current vice chancellor's photo is not what is there. It's the former vice chancellor's photo that was there. Like I cringe when I see this kind of things, but I wonder because when we talk about what education means and what education is supposed to be doing for us, I feel like the universities should know better. Because for me, I feel like we are the ones supposed to be educating every other person.
Exactly.
So if we can't get the basics right when it comes to digital tools, I wonder what we'll be teaching students in our lecture halls, because many of these universities now run courses around communication, entrepreneurship, marketing. All these things have elements of marketing, digital marketing, visibility, things like that. So if you can't get your basics right as an institution, what are you teaching in the classroom?
Exactly.
It raises a lot of questions. It raises issues of doubts credibility. I mean, if I was a parent and I was going to look for a school for my ward, and I found that there's not enough information on your website, I'll be thinking if really I have to bring my ward to your school or
Of
not.
course, I won't bring my word to your
because
school.
there's not enough information.
That's true.
Compared to schools in Europe and America, where at a click,
Everything
one of the
you are
interesting
able
things
to-
I like about schools, for example, in Europe, who are not even English-speaking countries, the moment you get in there, it is their official language, which is on the site. Then you have the option to go click on
translate.
English or any
Yeah.
other language that
Languages.
you are looking for. So even when it comes to francophone universities in Africa, some of them don't even have that option
Yeah.
to get you to translate into English.
Yes, and even know
So
what is
it
going on.
makes it difficult for you to find the kind of information that you are looking for, and I feel like we are not doing right by people
Yeah,
if we want
not
to
at
keep
all.
this.
I mean, we are always even talking about our research, where it is going.
Good.
And then if a university's website is not functioning, I mean, how do you give research visibility? How do you internationally collaborate with,
Yeah.
opportunities? And now coming to we talking about the fact that, I mean, there was a study that says that 95% of the websites are English only.
Yes.
So just like you said, if I'm researching for a university and then I maybe I'm interested in, maybe I want to go to, the French speaking those universities, and then I visit your website and I don't have an option to click or maybe translate whatever is on the website. Of course, there's no way, you lose a lot of things. Sometimes we might think that because it's a French-speaking university or country, we just want those who understand. But no, there are opportunities that people would want to.
We have
get.
international students. I think the universities fail to think about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you
We have
think about that, you
exchange.
factor all of these
We are
things in.
always talking about exchange programs where people
Yeah.
come, we learn from them, they also learn from us,
Yeah.
and then there is this exchange of knowledge and ideas. But here
Absolutely.
lies the case: I come to your website, and the website is not even functioning. How much more may coming, getting admission, or maybe coming for admission from your school?
Yeah.
It's, for me, it's,
One
it's
of the
surprising,
other
actually.
challenges I have is with the use of social media, particularly LinkedIn. LinkedIn, we know, is specifically for academic and professional purposes.
Yeah.
Even in that space, schools struggle
exactly.
to put the content that they need to put there. So even if you are not going to make use of your website, okay, do LinkedIn.
A lot of
Find a
universities
way.
do not actually have LinkedIn accounts.
That's a sad.
That one,
That
for
is sad
sure. A lot
because
of
the
them do not
generation
have.
of students we have now are so much glued to social media.
Yeah.
They love it. They are sleeping there. They are eating there. They are doing everything there. So if we don't find a way to point them in the right direction in that space, because social media has it pros and cons. People use it wrongly and in many spaces. But when an academic institution is involved, I feel like we should be able to point the students in the right direction.
Yeah.
Many people even, it's funny how I talk to some young people, they don't even know about LinkedIn.
Of course.
If your school was on LinkedIn,
People do not
these
even,
students will not
till
be
now,
struggling
people do not
to
even
know
about
that
LinkedIn.
there's something called LinkedIn, and this is what the purpose of LinkedIn
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I struggle to understand what the institutions are really doing, or if they are really living or walking the talk of. Because when you hear some of their visions and their mission statements and what they intend to do, it sounds so sweet when you read it out or you recite it.
But you realize that
the
they are
work-
not being acted upon.
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
So I find it difficult to understand.
I mean, even those who have websites nowadays should look at innovative ways of doing things. I mean, the use of chat box,
Yes.
FAQs.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
sometimes you go on a
Yes.
site and then you want to, find out certain things and use the chat.
Yeah.
And there's actually no response. So my question is, why is the chat box option there?
Yeah.
Why do we have the FAQ?
Many of those things
You
are not,
understand?
when you click them, they don't even go
And
anywhere.
this
They are not
live
active.
support, they are not active.
They are not active, yeah.
So, I mean, it's one thing having a website, and it's another thing living up to the expectations of, the now technology that
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah.
You can have a website, but make sure it is very updated.
Yeah.
It is responsive when students come there and they need information, they would get it. We don't have to, struggle to, because you give the student or whoever is looking for it so much work to do. And in other words, at the long run, you will lose them.
Yeah.
You will lose them because nobody would, spend so much time.
One
to...
interesting thing I also noticed is that even when universities have their pages, some of them attach their portals to it where students are able to access, maybe, for example, when it's exam period, where they can access exam timetable, the academic calendar. They get to know if they have names have been registered for exam. All of these things. Some portals are even inactive. People want to check for their results, and it's not there.
You see,
these portals are supposed to even hold these things for you, so that when maybe I can't remember my first semester results. Okay, let's say I'm in level 300. I want to remember level 200 first semester result. I should be able to just navigate myself to the portal, find that information, but you go there and the information is nowhere to be found. Like, these things give rise to a lot of problems when it comes to communication, especially. So I feel like African universities need to do a lot more. We need to be serious, and it's the reason I love what AAU has done. Thankfully, last year, the TV unit was able to come up with the social media masterclass, which was very interesting. We had people coming from across Africa to take part in the 3-4-day program that we had, and they are doing well. Some of these schools are doing well so far. Last week, Thursday, we had a webinar for the Francophone countries, and it was interesting. Okay, I don't speak French, but I was on the webinar, and I could tell, because I saw the interaction that was going on, questions that were being asked, and all of those.
I mean, how do you even find
it is?
How do you even find institutions, universities trying to go a bit out of the English community and organizing programs or whatever it is in other languages? Because sometimes it feels like some parts are lacking, and then some parts are, I mean, the English, those who speak English so fluently, are like, getting a lot, but those who speak the other languages are mostly lacking. I think there are a lot of things that we need to do. Some recommendations will be to regularly, for regular maintenance of the website, and then
very
updates.
Important.
And of course, just like we said, I think multilingual and inclusive designs. It should be friendly enough for whoever.
The website
speaks.
should be interactive.
Very
when
interactive.
you click on any link, it should go somewhere. We should stop all these things.
Yes, and I think the use of social media, just like you said,
key.
very key.
linked.
Now, social media has so much strength and power that I think. I know that if it has been leveraged on the growth that it will bring to your university, it will be very, very good.
The institutions might just understand that your website is a mirror of your institutional effectiveness. If your website doesn't look good, it doesn't. I mean, for me, it will give me doubts about what you are doing practically in the school. There's a message here from Sarah in Togo, and she says, social media is a place which brings visibility to people and institutions. It's so stressful to go online to search for institution and what they offer, only to find their website not functioning or do not have credible information, especially for French institutions. This is very sad and shocking.
Now it's a bit tailored. I mean, now this person is, more tailored towards
the Francophone schools. Anyway, that's what it is. But let's do to make sure that so officials involved and let me say who are handling social media accounts, websites, whatever, anything that gives your school visibility in the digital space, please just do well. At this point, I can even just advertise the AAU Masterclass, which is going to happen in September. Watch this space. We'll give more details about that. We talk about things of this nature. We bring expert leaders in that space to talk about these kinds of things.
I think there should also be regional collaborations.
I agree.
With institutions like the AAU. AAU is there. There is South African Regional Universities as well, and of course the Association of African Universities. And this is the time that there should be these kind of collaborations on how to collaborate with these universities and then get their websites functioning. Of course AAU will not do that, but when you are collaborating with such regional institutions, it gives you leverage. You are able to get your university's name
These
out
things,
there.
I feel like it's not a lot of work. It doesn't hurt for you to find an email address and then put in a mail and then send it to another school and say this or that. I feel like this thing should be easy for us. So let's just work around these things. Anyway, we'll move on into the next story, and we'll come right back to Ghana, where the government of Ghana has distributed about 8,500 laptops to kickstart the nationwide rollout of the 1 million coders program, a flagship initiative aimed at equipping young people with digital skills for the global economy. The devices will support training across 130 learning centers and selected universities in areas such as coding, artificial intelligence, and emerging technologies. Communications Minister Samuel Nate George emphasized that the program goes beyond training, with strong focus on job placement, inclusivity, particularly for persons with disability, and measurable impact. Fantastic story here. Very fantastic, but I have a lot of punches.
Tell me. I want to hear from you first.
In there. I mean, it's beautiful to know that the government is trying to pay attention to this project. It was a political campaign. Let's be emphatic about that. So 1 million.
Why are you politicizing?
No. I'm not politicizing. I'm just trying to say the facts. It was a political campaign. But if you ask me, that there's the fact that it is what's it called? It's a political campaign which is being instituted or is being they're trying to make it practical and make it work out. For me, it makes sense because 8,500 laptops have already been distributed. The goal is to create jobs for over 200,000 people. 8,500 laptops to help start this thing seems like it's a very small thing, but at the same time, it's not a bad start because this government is probably just a little over 1 year into office now. So I feel like, okay, yes, they have done something, and now they have given out 8,500 laptops. That's okay. It's a good start. But my key punches, this is where they come from. So we are trying to create 200,000 jobs or whatever in this space and things like that. I mean, it's fine to create all of these things.
Yeah.
But then how sustainable are we thinking about these things? Because I've always talked about sustainability.
Okay.
When it comes to anything regarding Africa, it's not just about the story. Anything regarding Africa, I always talk about sustainability because we often seem to have very good initiatives, very good plans. We will do long meetings, we'll form several committees. We'll pay them honorarium, we'll pay them certain allowances. We do all these things, have tea parties, and sometimes we even catch on when we are launching these initiatives.
Yeah.
This is how far we go when it comes to projects or initiatives in this part of our world. But how sustainable are all of these things? Okay, like that's my major concern. I am because I was trying to establish the point that it's a political whatever.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if this government does not stay in power in the next election? What happens to this dream?
Of course.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
For me, I think one question, when I was reading the story, there was one question that I kept asking myself. After the training, what happens?
Yes.
How long are we, or will we be able to hold the fort for these number of people?
Very, very good question.
Until they are well established.
Yeah.
Before, the government or whoever, stay back a bit for them to do what they're about to do. Just like you said, we have a lot of initiatives. We have very good, brilliant ideas. Brilliant initiatives, brilliant works that we want to do. But, just there is no continuity when it comes to initiatives in Ghana. Every government that comes is looking at what they can start and finish and have it set in their name.
Yes.
Nobody is looking at, Mahama Akufo-Addo came, His Excellency, the former President Akufo-Addo came and then started this initiative. And the current President Mahama is here to continue the initiative. No, everybody wants to come, have initiatives that begin and start,
and then it ends with them.
Begins and ends with them.
Yeah.
And now it is related to I mean, the fact that, okay, this political party actually did this or
Yes.
instituted this
Yes.
initiative.
Yes.
And that is our first call of action if we want to be progressive. We are starting such a very, such an amazing initiative. I mean, having 8,500 laptops to young people to learn coding and then all these things. But what happens when they are done? How long are we going to hold the fort for these people? Mind you, there were a lot of startups in Ghana here that are lacking a lot of things, that are not progressive, that are not, I mean, they are going down day in and day out. But here lies the case. We talk about the fact that people should be able to start their jobs and then all that. But in starting a job, of course, you can't just get up and then have your own startup or do whatever you want to do. But there is a gap in between, I mean, those who do it, how long they're able to. I mean, I won't be surprised. This is not to say what you're doing is bad, but I won't be surprised that after all these things, you realize that at a point it just stops.
Yeah.
And nothing at all is going on again. I mean, it's been happening, and it won't be news that it happens with this kind of initiative again. So I think there should be a long-term plan when it comes to having these initiatives. For how long are we going to hold the fort for this number of people, for this initiative? Because at the point where the government is going out of power, he has to make sure that this initiative or people who benefited from this initiative are not left like lingering around because it is a new government and they were not the ones who initiated the whatever. No, there should be a long-term plan.
Look, when you were speaking, something just came into mind. I don't know if you remember RLG. There was a time there was a company, I can't remember what RLG stands for. I think they started producing phones. Then they came into laptops. I can't remember under whose government or administration we had that. But RLG came, there were several promises. And today, where is RLG? Eventually, I heard something in relation to some real estate, something around the Castle area, and then that was it. Till date, we don't know what has happened to RLG. But that seemed to be a fine initiative because at least I knew 2 people who even worked with that company. I don't even know where they are now.
Exactly.
So we are still talking about a plan that will hold these things until,
they are able to stand on their feet.
100 years.
For me, I'm not for 50 years. For me, mine is that because we don't like continuity when it comes to government change and then initiatives and all that. Mine is that for a government to set up such a great initiative like this, when you are leaving power, you don't leave them lingering. There should be a long-term plan that even when you leave power, you don't assume power in the next election. These initiatives are still working, and we are seeing what I mean. So I asked myself that all these 94,000 people are actually home and did not have jobs. Now there is an initiative. We have 94, and I know not all the 94,000 will get access to such an initiative. They just want a few people, because it's another thing, even having a lot of people on an initiative and you realize that you can't even mass all these people. Do you understand? So I think this is a real cry. This is something we should really look at, because if we have 94,000 applicants in just 48 hours, I mean, imagine if we have 72. Very, very alarming. So I think there should also be critical look at creating job opportunities. I mean, for the youth, people are home. It's important. I mean, relating this to even what happened, the police application and then all, you should realize that there are people who are home and are not doing anything. So this should be a cry. For me, number is actually alarming, if you ask me.
It's big trouble. The two positive things I can mention in this place is that they are mindful about people living with disabilities.
For that one, yeah.
So there's an allocation of 50,000 slots for PWDs through the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization. And then they are going to make sure that they fix these people somewhere. These are a group of people a lot of times we hardly think about.
Yeah.
But these people are humans.
Yeah,
they
they're
also
also
deserve a life. They deserve to live. They deserve to make a living. In other parts of the world, they are given that level of, attention. So for us to begin to start thinking in this regard, I really respect and I appreciate that. The other one is also the collaboration with 12 universities. And look, I keep saying that the universities, I don't know if the universities know the mandates that they have. Like, I feel like if a country will prosper, if a country will make it, most of the time it depends on the elites. The elites are the ones who are educated and go far at least to a minimum of a first degree, which is what a university will give you. So I don't know if the universities know the mandates that they have.
They carry.
And so because of that, they will begin to streamline things in such a way that they know that, look, whatever decision I'm making in this boardroom, in this meeting, in this seminar, in this conference, it is because of this generation. And so I anticipate to see a change in the next 4 years, in the next 5 years. And like, I don't think they think strategically in that order.
Mostly you hear them say it's not easy to, get certain things.
Jemima, nothing
is
easy.
There's always
nothing is easy.
Sometimes there's always that hindrance. I don't know sometimes what processes certain regulations in the university actually go through. But then you could see that nothing comes easily for certain regulations to be implemented. It has to go through certain things. So at a point, you realize that certain initiatives or certain mandates, just like you're saying, are, in quotes, given up on.
Yes.
Because it's too long of a process to follow up with certain things at a point. And I think the story also make a mention of the fact that there has been support, or there is support from companies like MTN. I think when it comes to MTN actually does a lot in supporting such initiatives. But again, I don't know how far. It's not even about they will go, about the initiative, how far the initiative will go.
So just to add on the MTN factor, when I also saw MTN, I just started recalling how many initiatives also.
When you go to MTN's website, they support a lot.
So then I asked myself, are they the only corporate organization in this country or this part of Africa?
That I think is a rhetorical question.
I know they are a giant company when it comes to whatever services they provide. But the question I'm asking is, how long will we depend on one company like MTN to support almost every initiative project
there are lots of
in the country or in the sub-region? Because I feel like other companies must pull their weight. That is why there's the corporate social responsibility, which I feel like is always a mandate for every company. Most countries have this when organizations or companies are setting up in all of these countries. So I feel like these companies must begin to learn from MTN and do more, because
other companies are also doing a lot. Just that maybe as the kind of initiatives they are venturing into that is not allowing us to hear some of those. But then I believe other companies, or let me say, companies are equally doing.
I stand to
but
be
mostly
corrected.
you hear of MTN.
That's the point. I stand to be corrected, but I feel like the others must be able to learn from MTN and diversify.
But mostly you
because we keep I know MTN has the muscles; they can do what they are doing. I'm not speaking for them, but we know
at this point,
I'm not a corporate communications manager for MTN.
Phil,
look, they have the muscles. They can do. I'm not. They can do whatever they are doing. I guess that's why they're supporting all of this initiative, which is great. But I just want other companies or organizations to learn from MTN and do what they have to do. Because if we are going to make progress, it depends on everybody. You're in your own small corner. This is what you can do. Collectively, when we put all of these efforts together, we will get the results that we are.
I think just like we are saying, this is equally a very good initiative, and it goes a long way to reduce I mean, in a way, reduce unemployment
Yes.
to an
Yes.
extent,
Yeah.
and also boost Ghana's digital
Yeah.
export. And I think this is also helping to strengthen the country's position as a tech hub in West Africa, and also more importantly, also enable young people to build solutions for Ghanaian challenges, not just working for foreign companies.
Yeah, I like the idea because, look, Rwanda is doing these things already, and they have found a way to incorporate remote jobs in their setup.
Yeah.
In Ghana, you don't find a lot of remote jobs. Look, one of the things I realized about remote jobs is that it requires a certain kind of training, which
Yeah.
most people do
Do
not
not have.
So this 1 million coders thing will help. People will learn on the job, and it will set people up for these kinds of opportunities. The other side of the things I'm looking at is that whatever Rwanda has done, we should be able to replicate in other parts of the continent.
The
Because
continent.
what's happening is that I believe, what I know is that, you see, before you get a remote job, most of these companies are not based in your country, often in
Yeah.
Europe or America. So what it means is that Rwanda may have done something that has set them up such that these organizations outside their country is
Yeah.
able to train people within Rwanda to take up the jobs. And these are the kind of collaborations we are talking about. All you need is a phone or a laptop or what's it called, a tablet to set you up, and then you can work from home. Okay, we need to get into that space. When we saw this thing a lot when there was COVID. So I find it very interesting that Africa is not trying to embrace this even after COVID. We don't know when the next pandemic is going to hit. I hope we are not sitting and waiting and thinking to
Waiting
ourselves
for the
that-
next one.
Yes, and thinking to ourselves that, okay, pandemics happen probably within the next 50 to 100 years, and it's only about
So
6
we
years
are
ago.
waiting,
So we
yeah,
are
so
waiting
we are waiting
until
for the
no,
next
we
100
have to be
years.
ready for the future. Europe and America didn't think about COVID, but it came. Nobody ever thought for once that the whole world was going to be shut down,
Yes.
where nobody would be allowed to go out.
But
What it means is that if
unfortunately-
people like America and Europe were hit and they even suffered this the more,
More.
what it
How
means
much
is that
more?
anything can happen.
Exactly.
So when we have a continent that has all the let me say, the natural resources and all of the gifts that God has given us, yet we are unable to harness them to create the kind of things that we need to create,
Yeah.
it's a problem. So I feel like
Problem.
Ghana is doing well with this, but other African countries must be able to learn as well, and then do same for their people, because
And let's
at
also
the end
look
of
at
the
the
day,
long-term goal.
yes, the
It's
long-term
very,
goal,
very
because
important.
unemployment is on the rise, and so we need to make sure these things,
Yeah.
are kept. Okay, so we'll move on away, and still in Ghana. This story excites me a lot because it's about women empowerment. So Ghana is on the verge of a historic milestone following the nomination of Pamela Graham as Auditor General. If approved after consultation with the Council of State, she will become the first woman to hold the role in the country's history. A senior partner at Ernst & Young, Graham brings decades of experience in auditing and financial governance, positioning her as a strong candidate to lead one of Ghana's most critical accountability institutions. Her nomination highlights both Ghana's evolving leadership landscape and the growing presence of women in top public financial oversight roles across Africa. Let me put you on the spot on this one. Have you eyed or identified any position any woman hasn't occupied yet that you might want to occupy?
Yes, but I'll keep it to myself.
That's all I want to. I don't need to know now. I want to know. I'd like to find out when you have surprised me. One day I'll just wake up and it's on social media. Or
Oh,
it's-
yeah,
or-
please
or-
watch
or-
out.
Or I get a text.
I'm
and
eyeing
I
it.
see that Jemima has been appointed to a position no woman
No woman.
has ever
Oh,
been at.
yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Don't worry.
Anyway, so back to Pamela Graham. If she's confirmed, she'll be the first female
Auditor General.
Auditor General. How fantastic.
Very, 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 very fantastic. I personally, I mean, I was reading about, her background, academic background, and you could see that she has a doctorate business administration from IPAG Business School, which
Okay.
is in France.
Okay.
And then she also has a Masters of Business Administration in Manchester. And then she also has a Bachelor of Commerce from the University of Cape Coast in Ghana.
Okay.
She has also served as a senior partner, Ernst & Young, Ghana 2022 to present. She's also a member of the Executive Council, Ernst & Young, West Africa 2020 to present. Also, the first female partner, Ernst & Young, 2013. Audit supervisor, Ernst & Young, Netherlands. Controller and Accountant General Department, service person 2000 to 2001. And also Central Bank of Ghana, national service person. I mean, I read all this.
Impressive resume.
Very impressive.
Wow.
I mean, you watch, or let me say, you look at this women, and then as a woman, you sit. For me, when I see these things personally, it's an encouragement for me that, I mean, people are doing it equally. It can be done. This is a good call for women who are thriving to get into bigger spaces. And I mean, to tell all of us that whatever you set up your mind to do, you will be able to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, as a woman, there shouldn't be any hindrance, or you shouldn't look at the society that's around you to hinder you from taking up certain positions. You understand? So for me, this is a good one for women. And I'm relating it to even our current vice president is a woman.
Absolutely.
We have a country that has their president as a woman.
I think that's Namibia.
Yes. I mean,
Namibia has that. I think there are 2 African countries.
Yes, 2
that.
African
I
countries.
I can't remember the other one.
Myself too. So you look at the fact that, I mean, now women are, I mean, we are coming up. And for me, I think every woman, every lady out there should pick points. I mean, and look at this as a stepping stone or an encouragement to, you know,
huge
do
motivation.
more in whatever field that they find themselves, honestly.
Look, I just chanced on the list of auditor generals we have had since independence. Okay, we have had 9. she will be the 10th. And since 1951 till date, I'm looking at the list, there's no woman's name in there. Neville Wood-Sabin, Ahinkra Osei, James Benoni Hazel Coleman, Richard Taylor Nelson, Osei Tutu Prempe, Edward Dia Ajiman, Richard Cote, Daniel Yadomelevo, and then John C. Kwama, who is the current auditor general. But this is very interesting. So
I mean, you could see that all of them are men.
Yes. So since 1951 till date,
there hasn't been
happy.
1951. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time.
So I'm happy to know that at least this has happened, and it is in the thoughts of the leadership of the country, and such a thing is going to happen. I mean, you rightly spoke about how women should look at this and be motivated.
That's 75 years.
Yeah. Look, look, that's so long.
That's a long period of time.
When we had the vice president assume office, I did say on the show that, look, it should be a huge motivation.
A very huge one.
Because Professor Gina Nopokwajiman has a very solid credential. She was the first vice chancellor of University of Cape Coast as well. So look, when you look at her credentials and the things that she has done, I feel like it is a doable thing for a lot of women. I see how women work in this country. Sometimes they don't get a recognition because in code we claim is a man's world.
It's a man's world.
So
do you believe in that statement, though?
I don't have to believe it. It is what it is. Okay.
So it's a man's world?
That's what I'm saying. I didn't make this rule.
No, but do you believe it's a man's world?
It is, because that is what we live in.
Wow.
I didn't make this. I don't know who created this. I don't know how we got here.
But how did
you?
But why did you get to believe that it's a man's world?
Because that's what we see. That's what I'm saying. I didn't make this assumption. I didn't create this. We came to meet it. Okay.
It's not a man's world. I just feel everybody deserves the opportunity.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just that when it comes to let's continue. I think where I want to take this conversation.
I see where you're going to women empowerment. But the point I'm just trying to make is that, like, I don't know where we are, how we arrived at this point, and we often sit and try to circle out the women when it comes to the bigger tables and all of it.
But I'm not to cut you, sorry, but I also hear people say that as women we have so much opportunities. So now I come back to ask what the opportunities we get. Why are we not getting to this one?
Hold on. You see, I agree with the opportunities you're talking about. These opportunities are in quotes. But then again, there are certain opportunities you can only get when it is given to you. Opportunities are given. If it's not given to you, you will not get it. For example, if the leadership of the country is not thinking about Pamela Graham, how will she get the chance to go sit in as Auditor General? Do you get what I'm trying to say? If she's not given the chance, okay, if President Mahama didn't pick a running mate as a woman, how would Professor Nana Jane Opoku
Yeah.
be the vice president?
I don't
you
know
need to
if
make the opportunity available. Okay?
But I don't know if in the campaign of the NDC they said something like increasing the women in
They did.
position. Yeah, I
Yes,
think there
they
was
did.
something like that.
Yes.
And I think this, I mean, I'm not trying to politicize this, but I think that it is a good way to actually, you know, push women
Yeah.
to take up responsibilities.
Yeah.
Because now we see a lot of men in parliament
Yes.
taking up responsibility, being ministers, being, and all that. So for me,
So
this
it's-
is
so
a good recognition.
it's a good
So just
recognition.
like they said, she should. I mean, if everything goes on well, and I'll be glad for her to. I mean, assume
I
position
will
as
also
the
be
Auditor
glad to know
General.
this because I feel like it is unfair that for over
For almost 72 years. That's
we
a
have
long
not had a
time.
female,
75.
be in the position of Auditor General. I mean, it's not like we are supposed to be doing, okay, today is a man, tomorrow is a... No, that's not what it's supposed to be. But if she deserves it, if she has earned it, why not?
I think you should change your mind on this as a man.
I told you, it's not me. I didn't create the conception.
But you have come to accept the fact that it's a man. So,
Because
but you,
the world in which we live
we'll
in
take this
serves us-
particular
that's
side
how-
of the
that's how they
conversation
serve us.
out of.
No
out
problem.
of-
But anyway, so
Please.
across Africa,
Yeah.
okay, other countries have already made strides in this regard. Okay, so in Kenya, the Auditor General is her name is Nancy Gathungu, and then I think there's a similar position for somebody in Tanzania, and her name is Teresa Imbilinyi. Okay, so I think that maybe we are learning from these people.
Yes.
But even if we are not, and we are setting our own pace, it's a beautiful thing. If you
It's a
ask
very
me.
beautiful
So I mean, I always want to see things like this happen. And the thing that surprises me is that in most places, when you look at the population and figures, the women are almost always more than the men. So I don't know how the men keep getting
The opportunities.
the bigger positions.
I wanted to talk about it, but you.
No, I mean,
I
it's
don't
a fair
want.
question because everywhere, almost everywhere in the world, population-wise, women
are a lot.
So
Yes.
why are the men getting the
The-
bigger chunk of the
I
cake
mean, people
compared
talk
to the
about the
women?
fact that women become mothers. I mean, the motherhood sometimes, you know, I won't say disrupt, but it delays. It delays. Let me say it delays position. People. I mean,
we need to have.
You know, let's
to have
see.
a-
Let's
a
be
proper
real.
conversation.
See. Let's be real. In a very Ghanaian. Let me not even say Ghanaian. In our normal reality setting, a woman. I mean, gets married, become a mother, and steps. I won't say steps back, but is given a break to be a mother. You understand, with a newborn baby and then all those things. At that period, it's not like she can't move on after she has resumed. But you see, these cycles, I mean, keep coming. Do you understand? So for me, I wouldn't say it delays, but I think that it equally plays a role as a woman. But it is your strength to hit the road stronger and faster that takes you to the top. But as women, sometimes we are a bit slowed down by some of these activities, and then we stay in some positions for a very long time until, you know, we get that fast pace to, you know, hit the road, like I said, very faster, and then we're able to achieve
your points are valid.
I mean, those are some of the points, and there is also the political settings where people feel like some positions are created for men.
So those are the things I was just about to come to. These are
there is that.
These are conceptions,
And you know,
we need
it
to walk
doesn't.
away
No,
from
you see,
these things.
it doesn't change because we, the same people who are preaching the fact that these positions are for men, we are the same people in the. For
That
that,
these
just
positions are
like
for
you
the men.
said, when I asked you if it's a man's role, you said you came to meet it. So nobody
Exactly.
equally made that assertion or that rule that these positions are for women, are for men. But mind you, we the same people preaching that women should be given. We are the same people who feel like, oh no, let the man actually take lead on I mean, this position and that position. Nobody actually made the rule. It has been there, and it's still been there. You see, we the people who are making this statement will sit on the high tables and look at a man and a woman, and we'll choose the man over the woman.
Good.
Exactly.
So,
let's be very realistic.
Again, all your points are valid. So my concerns are that as much as we have all of these concerns in there, here is the issue for me. What is wrong when a man and a woman are due for a certain position and then we automatically want to pick a man?
The man
when the woman is equally in good position of standing to take that position. That's what my concern is. So for me, I'm not even playing the equality card here. If the woman
deserves it,
yeah, and she can be there, why are we automatically thinking about the man?
And because, as you said, it's a man's world.
That's not fair.
Let me borrow your words. It's a man's world. So you see, it is up to us to change the mindset.
Should not be on the man.
But it's a man's world.
Yes, it is.
So you see, if it's a man's world, obviously the first person to consider will be the man.
I feel like
so. This one, I'm using your same words against you.
I feel like we have got the concept of marriage where the man is the head of the house into every other thing across Africa. I feel like that's what the problem is.
And it's not right.
It is not. That's what I'm saying. But because I fancy women in some of these positions because they haven't seen many women fail compared to men, honestly.
Yeah, men fail.
I haven't seen many women.
That's why you guys would have to step aside.
No, stepping aside, I don't agree. I believe in balance. No, I believe in balance.
But it's a man's world.
That's one I didn't quit. But I believe in balance. I feel like we should be able to find a balance. So, like I'm saying here, if there's a man and a woman who are due for a certain position or are capable,
they should be given the opportunity.
It shouldn't be an automatic decision for the man. Let them play whatever has to be done, the scrutiny or whatever the process. Let them go through it. If the woman wins, that's it. Let's not just make things look like, but she's a woman, but she's a what if a woman goes on for maternity leave, does she lose her senses or she becomes less intelligent when she becomes a mother? I mean, these are some of the things we should think about. I mean,
but then again, because it's a man's world, this statement, I think I'm so much going to.
No, you are not wrong.
Because it's a man's world.
You are not wrong. But I just want us to find the balance in between gender and gender inequality and all of the things. I feel like we should be fair to women. If a woman is in a position to assume, I mean, let's not be automatic about the decision and make it that the person that has to be in there should be a man. That I don't agree with. Because look at the credentials we just
we have to. I think the mindset also has to change. And the mindset of, women, the fact that when they assume positions, whatever life throws at them, they might have to take a break at some point and then all that. I think the mindset really has to change about the fact that, well, they say women are the weaker vessels. That's fine, but it's not weak vessels in their brain.
In this terms,
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, their brains, whatever knowledge they have, they still have it. Their brains are not weak at any other point. They're all moving through life. At the point where your knowledge has passed, it has passed. Do you understand? So just like you said, everybody, both male, female, women, men, should be given equal opportunities when they are rightly deserving of the position.
But most importantly for me, what I want to know is if Ghana is ready for things like this, because now we are beginning to see a lot of these things happen with the rise of a female vice president. Is Ghana ready for this? If you ask me, it's probably yes and no.
I'll go for no.
No, I'll say yes and no.
I'll go for no straightforward because I don't think Ghana is ready for it.
The reason I'll say yes is this. Now we have a first female vice president. It's one of the highest offices in the land.
You see the way you're looking at it, you're looking at the level of, a woman assuming position and the fact that we should be ready and open to such. Not everyone actually has that mindset, mind you.
That's so.
You understand?
So that's why I think that part of it is in my no. Okay, because I said yes and no.
But a lot of people actually are not looking at that side of conversation
because people are not being objective about some of these
so that's
things.
why I'll go for not a quick no, but a more no than a yes.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are thinking like this. So
Exactly.
the question still remains: is the public ready for this? Is Ghana
I think
ready
we have to
for this
change
kind?
mindset.
Yes.
The mindset is
Because
the first thing to
we
work
have just looked at the list since 1951, and it's 9 men so far. First time a woman is going to come in. So
Yeah.
people are going to begin to argue and have conversations among themselves. Is a woman fit to be in this role? Will she be able to take on the pressure? Because look at the number of public institutions you must audit. Look at the political sentiment surrounding audits and all of these things.
Yeah.
There's the OSP in, there's the Attorney General. Today the media says this, then there's a hearing that says, like all of these kinds of. So it's going to come with a lot of questioning, backlash, all of these kind of things. So is the country ready for this? And in a more very important way, are the women of the country ready for this?
No, we are ready. You got
That's-
to change your
that's-
mindset.
that's the thing.
all. We are
That's the
ready,
thing.
but the mindset has to be changed.
That's the thing. And so in our next story, still on a woman. Okay?
Yeah.
It's still on a woman. An American astronaut, Christina Koch, I always have a problem pronouncing, is it Koch or Koch, whatever, has made history as the first woman to travel into deep space and journey around the moon following the successful completion of Artemis 2. The mission, led by NASA, marked the first crewed lunar mission in over 50 years, with the Orion spacecraft safely returning after a 10-day journey that included a flyby of the moon's far side. Koch was joined by Commander Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, the first black astronaut to travel beyond low Earth orbit, and Jeremy Hansen, the first non-American to orbit the moon. Her achievement holds special significance for Ghana, where she previously studied at the University of Ghana, highlighting the institution's global academic impact. And I saw a video, or no, it's a picture of her at the time in the when they were up there displaying the Ghana flag. Which was later taken down, and then it was the American flag and the Canadian flag.
Oh, is it taken down?
Oh, but
well, yeah.
I mean
it makes
she's not
sense.
Ghanaian, but for the fact that she can think about the fact that she studied in Ghana at a point, and put Ghana's
gives
flag there.
reverence
Come on,
to that. Yeah.
that's because, to be fair, she's American. She's
Yeah,
not even
she
Ghanaian
is.
in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay, so for me, it just also tells me how much credible our Ghanaian institutions are. So it's a beautiful thing. So credit to the University of Ghana for this. But most importantly, is for me celebrating women's achievement in this space, because again, this is an area where a lot of women are not.
Yeah, I mean, the STEM education, no, not at all.
A lot of women are not in there. So it excites me to know that there was a woman on the team.
Yeah.
I was not able to watch when they were returning to Earth.
Yeah.
But the night they were going up, I watched when they were taking off. And it was so beautiful. It was, I had a lot of things in my mind because for some reason I thought about a story where I think a father and a son and a few others went down into the ocean to go have a look at the Titanic ship. Okay, and then the space, the vessel in which they traveled somehow, some way lost something.
Balance,
and you know, they died, unfortunately. You know, so that thing rapidly came into my mind because I knew that this was not going to be a long trip. They're just supposed to go do the orbit and then come back. So that I remember that story. I was just hoping to bring that this will be a successful trip.
Yeah, for me too. I think I was scared for them at that point.
And so I'm excited to know that they were able to do whatever they did, and they came back. Now, when I think about this, beyond, I just want to drift away a little bit. So this is what America is doing. This is what people like, what's this man's name? The owner of Virgin Atlantic, Richard Branson, is doing. Elon Musk is doing stuff like this. How many African countries are thinking about going to space?
I think somebody asked that question on Twitter. I saw something like that.
Because I'm asking this question because sometime last year, I was having a conversation with a friend. And then I think this conversation came up because at the time, it's either Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Between these two, one of them was thinking about how to take industries from Earth and establish them in Mars.
Oh.
Because in their thinking, manufacturing industries produce a lot of pollution, and everybody's living here on it. So we inhale these things, and these things contribute to long-term health issues and all of. So they are thinking, okay, now that we are exploring Mars and we think Mars is livable, can we take some people from here, go and establish industries there, leave them there, and then they settle them?
I'm just imagining.
Exactly. So look at the kind of thoughts that, other people who are not more human than any other African is thinking about.
Yes, I mean, it makes sense.
Just to give credit about the fact that Elon Musk is South African and all of that. But but on a general note, how many Black Africans
are thinking
this
but a friend of mine actually is interested.
Well, that's food for thought. I just wanted to veer off a little bit away from.
Well, I mean, it's a good one. I mean, all the time we look at these foreigners, I mean, take up such initiatives, and just like you said, we ask ourselves, where are the Africans? What are we doing? I mean, are we equally ready to, pick up certain spaces? Just like you said, I think when it comes to even studying some of these courses, especially the STEM courses, you hardly find women. So all the time is the men. I mean, from the previous story, it's a man's world, so it's a man's course. So I guess. So, but you let me go.
No. I'm just going to add to it. So for me, when it comes to these things, that's why I want to encourage women. That's why, like you said, you were encouraging that young women should take a cue from this, and be more ambitious, and have liking to some of these things. Because I don't think that it's only men who are capable of doing these things. I get that sometimes women can be scared of certain things. I mean, again, that's why it's said that's why men die early or quicker than women, because a lot of men are daring than women. Okay, because to think about the fact that you are going up into space, what if the space
anything happens,
breaks apart? Because these things have happened before, things of that. So maybe women do not have the courage to do things of this nature. Okay, so let me bring it back home. This reminds me of an interview I watched of Dr. Zaneto Rollins. Okay, and she was saying a story about how her father, the late President Rollins, taught her how to fly an aircraft.
Yes,
when
I think I saw
she
that
had
too.
learned to fly the aircraft, one time the father got on the aircraft and left her to go up alone.
Yes,
her mother came to have a conversation with the father, and she asked, and where is Zane? And then the father just points up and said, so that's her alone. And the mother is worried because she's up there alone because she just learns to fly. So these are the kind of things we are talking about. So it makes me understand, indeed, it's true that some women may be worried or be scared. That is fine. But if men are doing it, just know that it is possible.
Women can do it too. I think it starts right from the basis where we have to, as women, as women involve ourselves in STEM education. That is science, technology, mathematics, and engineering. I mean, from that, we can actually develop that skill and that want to, pick up some form of initiative just like these. And then, I mean, at the long run, it won't be bad. Of course, it will be of great joy to see Africans organize themselves and then, I mean, go all the way to the top. I mean, experience or experiment some of, I mean, these things. So for a woman to get on such an initiative with all the, I mean, I saw a video of them. I mean, when they were in the, I've forgotten, there was a name.
The shuttle or whatever it was,
and then things were just floating, and you could see her hair, like everything was just floating. Immediately you leave something. Exactly. Immediately you leave.
It's dancing in the air.
Exactly. And then I started and then I was watching the video. I was like, okay, if it was me.
Did you imagine yourself in that?
Oh, yes. I won't lie to you.
And what were the thoughts that came into your mind?
I don't know if I'm ready, but I don't think I'm ready for now. I don't think I am ready.
That's an honest
an honest statement. I don't think I'm ready for now, but I think this is an opportunity for us to really work on our basis as women, geared towards STEM education. Look at how we could pick up some of these initiatives. I mean, walk all the way down to these deep. Activities as well. You know, the funny part of it is somebody I saw on Twitter, somebody was like, why didn't they take Nigeria's flag? And then they took Ghana's flag was there. Seeing that the person wasn't Ghanaian but yet still took the Ghanaian flag at a point, and then also realized that, I mean, Nigerians could also do that. That was just, I mean, by the way, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so beyond women empowerment, let's get back into the details of the story. So first of all, I am excited about the University of Ghana collaboration in there. So for me, education-wise, it talks about how much our education or how far it has come. Because if somebody can receive some level of education in Ghana at university level and go all the way up, it means that in a certain sense, we have contributed to the foundational knowledge of this person's life. Okay. Indeed, we are not out there everywhere, so we don't know how much anybody that has passed through Ghanaian education, especially if they were not Ghanaian, and what they have done. But it just tells me how much we can do and the potential that we have when it comes to education. We have already established in the beginning of our conversation today how education is in Ghana or in Africa, and if the institutions know their mandates and what they carry and what they can influence, okay? So I feel like it should be a source of motivation, number one, not only for University of Ghana. I'm not saying that as a result of that, it should become a competition among higher education institutions. No, we are not competing against each other. Rather, we should learn from each other, leverage on resources from the human resources to whatever, and then, you know, put these strengths together and make sure that we are building a stronger force when it comes to education. These things, at the end of the day, you see, sometimes it feels like it's not working because we don't see the results immediately. Okay, but at the end of the day, it will pay off. So we have to start thinking
mindset.
Exactly, it's about the mindset. So we need to start thinking about some of these things, and then, you know, make it not competitive, but more interesting and like challenging each other to do better. You know, things like that. So I just feel like that's what we need to do, and you know, move on from there. There are other details about the splashdown. I mean, when the crew came back.
Down.
So they touched down on Friday, on April 10th, 8:07 p.m. That was at 12 midnight around Ghana's time.
Yeah.
And the crew was extracted from the Orion spacecraft and flown to the USS John P. Muther by U.S. Navy helicopters. And then usually, I watch this thing sometime. Usually when they arrive, they are taken through a certain medical process.
Yeah.
Because you have left Earth where things are different and you are in a different space altogether. So they go through a certain level.
I think at a point people are even talking about the fact that the lady has a bit changed. I don't know how.
So they have to take them to a certain medical process to be sure if they are normal, in quotes.
So if they are not normal.
No, yeah, I mean, let me say the professionals know how it feels to leave Earth and into other spaces and things. So they have to go to a certain rigorous check to be sure that, okay, their faculties are well intact and nothing has gone, you know, and then they are just reunited with their families and things like that. So that's basically what happened, and you know, they were reunited with their families. So beyond all of these, we can think about inspiration for future generations. Okay, let's take, and at this point, let's go beyond women. Everybody, let's take these things as a powerful message.
Yeah.
And think about how we can
the interest of science and technology.
Exactly. You know,
even in our studies, that you realize that people do not, in quotes, maybe sometimes like science a lot of times.
Look, I feel like
of how it is.
I like how you said it, how it is. Who made it how it is? You see, a lot of things I have come to realize that it is a conception or like a myth.
And you see, there should be a way that I think these courses should be made in such a way that it should be welcoming enough. Because if I'm coming to study a course and then there are so much unfamiliarity, like nothing, you are zero to nothing unfamiliar with anything at all. And then you are, I mean, you see people, and you even realize that less population, less students actually go for such courses. and you realize that even when it comes to lecturing and then all that, and it even goes way down beyond, I mean, now in the institutions, how are they teaching such courses to make it very appealing to the students? How is it very welcoming? Do we have the tools or whatever experiments, I mean, the labs to, be able to have hands-on skills when it comes to some of these courses that are being learned? Because when I go to school and then all I get is I sit in the class. I mean, for such a course like this, I'm just sitting in the class and imagining whatever the lecturer is saying. Of course, it becomes very difficult when I'm being put in the activity to take up.
I completely agree with you.
So I think it's high time the universities also. In fact, the university has a role to play, making some of these courses very appealing enough to students.
Look, so anytime we talk about these things, my first proper example is always how most Ghanaians do not speak French, but almost every basic school in Ghana teaches French.
Can you speak French?
Basic, just basics, which is bad.
French?
That's what I'm saying. The same thing I'm complaining about.
Okay.
Just basics, which is not nice, because for anybody that went through JSS, which is now called junior high or whatever, and even in secondary school, some people still did French, and still cannot have a 1 or 2 minutes consistent communication in French at this level.
That's very alarming.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Why? And the reason is because a lot of French teachers, in quotes, were deemed wicked because they didn't make the course appealing. They didn't make it friendly. They made it look like at all costs you must speak it. Look, we are not French-speaking people. The way it was introduced and how they thought it, and how they were supposed to make us understand it.
Yes.
These are the challenges, because you have a French teacher that comes to class.
Enough.
Okay, and from the first day he comes to class, he says that, okay, I'm a French teacher, I'm this, I'm that, so understand that 90% of my communication with you is going to be in French. Meanwhile, we are English speakers.
Exactly. How do you expect me to understand?
I mean, like, these are the kinds of things.
To have conversations.
Okay, so the way
you.
we teach things in this country and across
it's
Africa
is
the reason, for example, agriculture.
It's scary.
Yes. So my second example is on agriculture. Because when I'm in secondary school and you're going to punish me, you say to me, go and weed all of this. And you say to me, that's my punishment. If I did understand that weeding this side is me clearing the land so that I can plant something which will go and I will consume and will save me money it makes me think that, okay, this is what I'm doing. But when I have the concept that, oh, I'm going to be punished because I
just have to weed, and that's the punishment.
So we go up thinking that weeding.
So the mindset has
exactly.
to change.
Yeah. Okay, so it's about the mindset. So we need to think beyond all of this, and then we can be able to influence the younger generation to do what is best. Anyway, we'll bring these discussions to a close, but there's more in the lifestyle segment. Stay tuned. When we come back, Jemima will take us through that.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
We welcome back from the break. My name is Jemima, and this is the lifestyle segment, still on the Hello Africa Morning Show. I'm doing this with Philip. So today we have quite interesting stories. Very, very interesting on the lifestyle segment. But then again, I'm sure you guys have watched an interview between Beam, which is Stone Boy, and Kafui Day. But then we'll have a deeper discussion, when it comes to that particular interview. So we'll take our first story on the lifestyle segment today, which talks about Stone Boy's third win claim sparked TGMA controversy. Ghanaian dancehall star Stone Boy has stirred fresh debate ahead of the Telecel Ghana Music Award, which is the TGMA 2026, after declaring himself a three-time Artist of the Year winner, despite official records recognizing only two. In recent interview with Kafui Day, the Beam Nation president suggested that his third win relates to the controversial 2019 award ceremony, which ended abruptly following an on-stage clash with rival Shatta Wale. The incident forced the organizers Charterhouse to halt proceedings before the Artist of the Year category could not be announced, leaving the year without an official winner. While some fans support Stone Boy's claim, others argue that awards must be formally declared to be valid. The comment has reignited conversations around the 2029 incident, artist rivalry, and what truly defines recognition in Ghana's music industry. This is an interesting conversation, if you ask me, because I think in 2019, a lot actually happened. When I was reading the story, I had a flashback of what actually happened, happened in 2019 between Shatta Wale and then Stone Boy. But the way, Phil, you are I think you have a lot to say. But wait,
I don't have a lot to say.
What do you make of the story? Because honestly, I don't know why Stone Boy will make such a claim that, he's won Artist of the Year for 3 times. I mean, the one that were pronounced was in 2025 and 2024, which it was officially announced that, Stone Boy won the Artist of the Year for these 2 years, which is 2015 and 2024.
Yeah.
But for 2019, it wasn't declared. And I don't know how Stone Boy knew he won, because Shatta Wale equally has the mandate to sit anywhere and also say that he won the 2019 Artist of the Year. What do you make of the story?
It's the reason I'm laughing, because look, if there was no official declaration,
why do you declare yourself?
It makes it difficult to say that, okay, I am the winner for that year. Or whatever. My other concern is this: if that's what he's saying, how did he know this?
Yes,
there's a saying that if a blind man says he's going to stone you, he probably has his leg on a stone. So he knows that he can pick up that stone and throw it at you. So I don't know what information Stonebwoy has. I don't know how he got it. I can't say.
Yes.
But like we know, there was no official declaration.
That is
I
very,
watched
very
that
true.
TGMA live. There was no official communication declaration. So I don't know how he got to know. So, I mean, look, it's a free world. People claim things. Between the two of them, they both claim they are the dance walkers. Samini even also says it's the dance walking. So amongst or between these three people, who really is the dance walking? We don't know.
But who really do you think is?
I honestly don't know, because I feel like everybody has their own craft.
Yeah, but when you look at these three crafts, I mean, let's put Samini aside for a minute and look at Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy.
This debate is always hard for me because I feel like, look, I always say this, look at the sky. It's so wide.
It's so wide
if we
for everybody
all
to fly.
rise up, we can all fly. So why are we thinking or wanting to be behaving I'm better than this? So look, anytime I talk about this, I always make the comparison in football between Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. These two guys have never stood anywhere to claim they are the best footballers ever.
But we, the audience that watch
but their
them
fans
can-
keep
yeah.
doing the banter on Twitter, X, on every other social media platform, and because Messi has 8 Ballon d'Ors, he's the best. Ronaldo has 5, and like it is
You
so
know,
unnecessary.
when it
Meanwhile,
comes
these
to-
two guys are friends.
When it comes to
They talk about these things.
Yeah, but when it comes to Shatta Wale and then Stonebwoy, in as much as both of them, just like you made the comparison, these players do not take to social media to do
Exactly.
anything. But then the fans on social media
They
actually
create all of
pick
this.
up.
Yeah.
Yes, but here lies the case. These two artists,
They take it personally.
they take it personal. In
Yes.
as much as the fans are overdoing it, I think in a very subtle way, these two artists actually.
I think sometimes
they make shades. I mean, in interviews
sometimes-
and
exactly.
then, I mean all that.
Sometimes
so equally,
I'm
there
tempted
is
to
that.
think it is for show business. Other times I'm tempted to think this is real, because
You know-
in this 2019 event, there was a flash of a gun and things like that.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it makes me think, why on earth are you doing things like this?
So just like
okay,
you said, maybe if it's for showbiz or whatever it is for, I don't think it's necessary, because when you look at what
That's the
happened
point.
in
It's not necessary.
2019,
It's not necessary.
now people are asking. But let me ask you though: do you think the 2019 issues should be resolved, or you think we should just leave it for
Well-
for things to just lie?
if you ask me, I think that it should be left like that. It should be left like that.
But at this
because-
point where there are claims, one artist is claiming to be to have won the best artist of the year in 2019.
anybody can claim
I think
anything.
For me, I wouldn't mind if Charterhouse should come out and say, okay, so for 2019, we were giving it to this particular artist, but because of what happened, I mean, I'm just,
Yeah,
after
I get what
saying
you
it,
mean. It's
after
hypothetical.
saying it, I'm just imagining what would actually
Exactly,
happen
because
if that should even happen.
so these are the things. It's gone. This is 2019. This is 2026. Forget about 2019.
But I
whatever
think there's
happened.
no reason for you to try and claim a position that was not rightfully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what
pronounced.
information he has. And I'm like I'm saying, it's a free country. Anybody has the right to say anything. Okay, free speech and all that. So if he sat in an interview and said this, that's fine. I don't think he loses anything or gains anything if he says that.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything. We all respect and appreciate his work. Same with Shatta. They all have their fans. People admire them in their own way. I respect both of them because, I mean, both of them have done whatever they are
Amazingly
supposed to
well,
do, and
equally.
they have earned whatever respect that we give to them in the industry. So for me, I feel like some of these things are so unnecessary. But if you ask me again, it is the way the nature of the entertainment industry is. Okay, so they know what they are doing. They know that it will trend when they talk about it. They know it will trend if they don't talk about
But
it. Like,
honestly, I wasn't even expecting that from Stonebwoy, because it just feels like now Stonebwoy's statements is suggesting that his legacy is bigger than, I mean, their official awards. And it
Yes.
raises concerns. It even raises question about how artists define success and
Yes.
greatness. Now, how do you define your success to somebody's success, or your success and
Exactly.
greatness to somebody else's?
Yeah.
What do you look at? I mean, what are the comparisons?
yeah.
It raises so much I mean, questions. And for me, just like I said, I didn't expect that from Stonebwoy,
Yeah.
honestly, because I just think, just like you said, it's 2019.
Yeah.
It's far gone. We are
Yeah.
in 2026. Guy, move on.
In that award ceremony, the thing was not announced. there was no official declaration
There was
even
no
after that. So I feel
I mean,
like
that year we didn't have
Yeah.
any artists of the
in
year.
the world of football, there has been a similar thing. There was a certain year where everybody thought Lewandowski should have won the Ballon d'Or. That year, the Ballon d'Or didn't happen. I think that was around the COVID time. It didn't happen. Even I think Messi won a Ballon d'Or the year after. In his acceptance speech, when he was accepting the Ballon d'Or, he did say that he thinks that FIFA or the Ballon d'Or organizers should recognize Lewandowski as that, because everybody knew, everybody thought that was it. But the thing was not organized. And so nothing has been said about it. What would you do? Like, so if it wasn't announced, it wasn't announced. Like, it's not the award that changes your craft or how much money you earn for your shows and awards. Like, I feel like it's not really necessary, you know? It's
I
not
think
really
this
necessary.
long-standing rivalry when it comes to Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale just influences so many conversations and decisions.
Yes.
So sometimes you realize that when this artist is at this program, the other one is not there. But I mean, and vice versa. But recently, I think there was a program, I've forgotten the name of the program, where the president was there and actually asked Bella Mundi to allow.
Yes, to ask them to, I think when they were about to do the Black Star sponsorship, something,
good.
for the World Cup.
And then for me, I think after that whole action of they hugging, and then it brought a lot of controversies, and people were having their own narratives on social media. But I think it's high time we just, you know, cut this whole thing. It's just not healthy, if you ask me. It's just not healthy because all of you are in the same industry and somewhat are performing almost the same kind of music. And then this rivalry.
I don't know who is benefiting. Me, I really don't know who is benefiting. Because if it is anything to go by, Stonebwoy, like we're saying, has won Artist of the Year twice. Shatta hasn't won it even before. So I feel like even this is enough.
I mean, after that 2019, I think they said Shatta said he's
he doesn't even partake in it because Shatta is one person who is always
now, it doesn't even
outspoken.
make it competitive because it looks like now it's.
I think he's been brought back into it or something of the sort. I think he's been brought back or something. But he opted out because he felt like sometimes the awards are unfair, and these are things that always happen after every award ceremony. It's not really about the TGMs. I mean, I remember was it 2 years ago at the Grammys when Jay-Z made a statement talking about how is it possible that Beyonce wins album of the year and things of the song of the year and doesn't win artist of the year at the Grammys. Like, think about it. For several years, but we all know who Beyonce is. But does it change anything about her? No.
Course, no.
But Jay-Z was bold enough to say that, it was crazy because that's his wife. But then again, we all know who he is in the music industry worldwide. So these are some of the things. So I feel like we should just come to that point where we understand and accept these things for what they are and walk away from all the sentiments.
But it's just it's just surprising that sometimes the statements are made and then the artist or whoever made the statement moves on. But you realize that fans on social media cannot wait to hop on it and then it trends and then
it's the fans.
It is too much.
Sometimes it's just the fans.
Sometimes I realize that the people involved are not even doing too much.
Sometimes,
but you realize that the fans on social media are actually
sometimes
doing more
it's
than
the fans. That's the classic case I give you between Ronaldo and Messi, because they are cool when they are at events, they chat, they introduce their children to each other and they have conversation. You don't see them show any sort of disrespect
to each other.
You know.
But I think in our case here, it's actually very, very different.
It's crazy. But in Ghana, we have had very good examples of people in the past who have had things of this which were supposed to have been worse, but it didn't. I remember very, very well when we talk about legends like Obrafo and Okyeame Kwame. And there was a time when Obrafo released songs that were targeted at Okyeame Kwame because Okyeame Kwame also had songs that said some things. He was making claims for himself. Like I said, people have the right to say whatever because they have the right to make free speeches and all of those things. Obrafo comes and counters and says, but I do remember very, very well. Okyeame Kwame sat in an interview on the TV station and said he was not interested in beefing anybody. Okay, and so he walks away from it. He hasn't lost anything. Today we respect both of them as wonderful legends in the music industry. Both of them have won many awards, and we know what they have contributed to the Ghanaian music industry. So I feel like these brothers should
have to move on.
they need to go up, and then
We have to move
let's
on.
move on from all of
Anyway,
these
so
things.
we move to the next story, which is talking about a divorce ruling that sparks debate. And we want to, I mean, a high-profile divorce case in Ghana has sparked intense public debate following a court ruling that many on social media have described as unfair. The case involves Ghanaian businessman Richard Ni Amakwe and Joanna Kwe, with online narratives suggesting she was left with a very little after 16 years of marriage. However, details from the court proceedings present a more complex picture. The High Court, preceded by Justice Kofi Dogu, awarded Joanna Kwe a 1/3 share of a multi-million CD matrimonial home, that is 300,000 Ghana cedis, and 2 vehicles. The court also ruled that the husband would take full financial responsibility of the couple's 3rd child. And now the case has since generated widespread reactions, with some questioning the fairness of the ruling, while others argue that the public narrative may not fully reflect the facts presented in court. The matter is now heading to the Court of Appeal, keeping the conversation alive both legally and in the court of public opinion. This is a very interesting story.
Yes.
Honestly, I think somewhere last week it started trending.
Yeah.
And just like people, I mean, just like the story is saying, there's so much people are saying on social media. But mine is, there is a statement Amma Beland actually made on Twitter. And I think I'm actually going to make that statement because I asked myself, Richard Ni Amakwe, you have the money. Settle the thing and let's move on. I mean, the man has the money. Settle your wife, your ex-wife, and let's move on. Why do we have to? And well, let's talk about the not even the proceedings, but let's talk about the court giving the woman 300,000 and the vehicle and all that. You think it's a fair ruling? As a man, I'm taking it from a man's perspective.
So look, from the first comment you made, I don't think that comment was necessary, because here's the thing. No, hold on.
It's actually necessary.
No, hold on. Let me finish.
No, you can't tell me it's not necessary.
Hold on. Calm down. So for me, the reason I'm saying it's not necessary is because Richard Ni Amakwe didn't make the rules. He is not the judge in the seats. Okay, so to say that he has the money, so he should settle it. The matter was in court. I don't think Richard Ni Amakwe is the one that took the case to court. It's I'm sure the leader took it to court because she wants settlement. So I feel like it's an issue of the court. It's not about Richard Ni Amakwe. Now, to the issue, the views are contradictory because people are making comments about it. That's the beautiful thing about social media lately, because everybody will say what they think. People think that she was treated unfairly. Why they think so, I don't know. The court or the judge says that marriage is not an investment where you put in 1 CD today and say you can claim 20 CDs tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay.
But because, you know, I have been with you for the past 16 years. We've been through, I don't want to sound that way, but honestly, if we've built something together, you see, I'm married to you, Phil. We've built something together. I'm not saying there should be a fair division of, 50-50, but I think that we all deserve whatever we have built together. You don't take it all upon yourself and then,
look,
you know.
Whose work, let me say, is the one that is generating the money that you have? Yes, you are married, okay? And there's a divorce and you make such a claim of 50 million cedis. When it comes to the business part of the matter, here's the thing. I want to look into my camera now. How much have you contributed, or what did you do to contribute in terms of the wealth the man has made? If, for example, like you're saying, if we were married and in our organization, let's say we have a business together, in the organization, there's something that we would understand that you have a certain amount of shares, I have a certain amount of shares, and we have a certain amount of legal rights to the business.
Yeah.
If you make such a claim over because of the money we have, that makes sense to me. But if you don't have that, okay, that's a different story.
Yeah.
Even if you have, it depends on how much shares you have. At this point, it's not about, that's why I agree with the judge, it's not about you saying that marriage is an investment. Because Rich I'm quick to say, okay, it's if marriage is an investment, we were good married. I was the one doing all the work. You see how the thing works. Everybody will make their case or their claim.
I don't think there should be a claim, but mine is that if we have built something together, no matter our level when we got married, whatever we've built together, I'm not saying there should be like a 50-50, but I mean, let's just enjoy the fruit of our labor and separate it just like we wanted to. But for me, I just don't know. But I think the settlement she received, that was the 300,000, the 2 Jaguar.
I think that is the 300,000 that is pissing people off. I think.
Of course. Not 300,000.
So, I mean, look, 300,000 is not bad. Even though I think, honestly,
Phil, let me look at you very well.
No, you
at
can
this
take
point.
off your glasses and look at me well.
What did you say?
No,
300,000.
I've not finished my point. I said it is not bad.
But
because she could have ended up with 0. Okay, it is not bad. But honestly, in my opinion, I think she deserves at least 5 million. At least, in my honest opinion.
5 million?
Yeah.
Not 300.
No, 5 million is more than 300.
Yes.
So in my honest opinion, maybe something in the range of 5 million should
to 10
suffice.
million. But
minimum,
I
think.
The guy
That's what
actually
I
has
think.
made money.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that in my opinion,
I'm sure
based on his wealth, I think that minimum should have been maybe 5 million.
And maybe give her a business.
300,000. No, I think she has a share in the business. I think so, but not so much. But to receive 1/3 of a high value home, the 300,000 and 2 Jaguar vehicles. Her husband has also been ordered to cover all child-related expenses. So, I mean, what exactly are you are not spending this 300,000 on the kids, because the man is going to be giving child support.
Yes.
Okay, so to set herself up, if you ask me, that's why I'm thinking that at least 5 million cedis would have been okay. Then if she wants to pull out of whatever business they have and maybe start her own and do, I think that should be substantial, because we know how much it costs to start businesses and do things in this country. So I feel like maybe the 300,000 is a bit on the low.
Yes.
A minimum of 5 million would have worked for me, in my opinion. But then again, I'm not a judge. The case didn't come to me, so I'm only making my opinion.
But do you think, let me ask you this before we go, should divorce settlement be based strictly on evidence, or should courts also consider lifestyle and perceived wealth?
Look, I think that it is a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
And
it doesn't apply to all.
Yes, it's a case-by-case basis. And I am not in the mind of the judge, but I feel like this issue came up as a result of things that have been trending in recent times. Okay, in recent times, we have had too many people or too many women asking for divorce from wealthy husbands.
Yes.
And unfortunately, somehow, some of these men are being smart. They don't put their assets in their names.
So you see, all these things draws, you understand. So sometimes when a woman is walking away, maybe some women will not mind walking away empty-handed or whatever. But you realize that some men are being too smart, and then they are just trying to.
Why are they being too smart?
No, but why? But the thing is,
for too
why do I make life with you, and you feel like the properties we make should not be in your name, it should be in somebody's name, and you understand. I think there's been cases where I've forgotten. I think we did a story here where a man actually had properties and registered it in the mother's name.
Yeah, that's this footballer.
Exactly, because when there are issues, he doesn't want the woman to get. I mean, why are you being too smart?
No, well, anyway, see, this matter is a
a lot. That sometimes you
we don't have a lot of time to talk.
Realize that it looks like men are actually looking out for something to just go wrong.
No. They are protecting themselves.
We'll just take it like that. So this is where we'll bring our conversation to an end on the lifestyle segment. It's been an interesting conversation. You can drop your comment in the comment section, and we'll do well to read it on our next show, on our next episode on the Hello Africa Morning Show. It's been interesting. Let's know what you think about the ruling, especially on the divorce case between Joan Kwe and Ni Amakwe. Let's know what you think. And also on the issue of Shatta Wale and then Stonebwoy, let's know what you think. If you think in 2019, Stonebwoy actually won the Artist of the Year, you can drop it in the comment section. I'll be glad to read it out on our next show. My name is Jemima Daladem Doche, and I did this with...
Before I mention my name, I just want to give a quick shout out to my friends, Juliana, Kofi, and Doris Ampon. They know themselves and they know what they have done. Shout outs to you girls. My name is Philemon Edwards. See you next time. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.